Hi friends, I would like to greet you and congratulate you because you are the pioneers that are helping ground 5D on planet Earth. So let me start by saying that today I want to talk about something that is one of the sure signs of a twin flame journey. Okay, a lot of people ask whether your astrology chart or your Kundli chart shows you if you are a twin flame. Okay, and the answer is yes, it does show you. Okay, in fact, in the ancient times, in the olden times when there was a dharma on this planet, and the mothers were actual mothers. Okay, at that point, okay, when the men and the women had some standards. Okay, the women were women, the men were men. Okay, at that point, when a child was born, the timing was noted, okay, the date, location was noted, all the birth details were noted, and the guru figure would calculate the chart, the birth chart, okay, and give a idea of what destiny the child has come with, okay, and at that point we had real gurus. Okay, in today's world a lot of people have lost their faith in spirituality. Yes, because I have seen personally a lot of spiritual gurus, religious teachers, who are basically nothing more than politicians. you know they are just like politicians, basically licking any ass they can lick for power. Okay, now a spiritual guru does not lick ass. Okay, and a politician should not also. But what do we get to see in our society? So many low class politicians that lick low class asses for votes. Okay, so this is a fucked up system. Okay, and when the system gets extremely fucked up, God sends their angels. Okay, God sends their angels, and that's what is happening on the planet right now. Okay, you see a certain spiritual uprising that is going on. You see so many genuine spiritual teachers. You see a lot of ascension teachers. Okay, and yes, it is a fact that there is another section of the society, a low class section of the society, that is also building up in opposition, okay, to this class of people that are awakening, to this class of people that are teaching ascension. Okay, because obviously the demons can sense energy where the energy is very high, and people who are out there who fix the system, because they realize that if we act in a selfish way, we might be safe today, but our children are going to get screwed basically, because we were too selfish, and that's what always happens. Okay, if you are too selfish and you ignore the way the system is going on, okay, your kids suffer, because you have to work for the next generation. Okay, you have to work to make the next generation a better place. Okay, so now that my commentary on the current system is done, let me get to the meat of this video. Let me get to the core of this video. Although I'm a vegetarian, so today what I want to talk about is twin flames and identifying them, certain pointers, and I want to talk about two pointers. Okay, so mostly if you are an ascended being coming back into the polarity matrix, okay, you have to split into polarities. Okay, and that is what twin flames are. They are polarities, the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Now, it doesn't mean that a divine masculine doesn't have any feminine aspects, or the divine feminine doesn't have any masculine aspects. No, within their own soul, okay, within, like in my one body, we have the Ida and the Pingla. Okay, we have both the channels. Okay, and that is how the Kundalini is able to rise. If there was only one channel, like if I had only Ida channel and my twin had only Pingla channel, okay, then the Shakti wouldn't be able to rise. Okay, but both the channels are present. Okay, and that is why we talk about balancing your inner feminine and masculine, after which the soul merge happens. So in twin flames, what really happens is The feminine part is in one body, the masculine part is in a different body. Okay, they split into polarities. And in the astrological chart, in the Kundali chart, this shows up as Kaalsarpa Dosha. And another pointer is also Saturn Moon. Okay, because the negative polarity of Saturn Moon uh, is a polarized masculine or a polarized feminine, and the positive polarity of Saturn Moon is the Ardhanarishwar energy, the unified twin, so the unified field. Okay, so these are the two pointers mainly through which you can identify twin flames when they are born. Okay, and if somebody can identify them even as they're growing up, it's really better, because then you do not put them through the social expectations that normal people are put through, because twin flames are not normal. Okay, they're basically ascended masters here playing as fugitives, okay, to study the system. Okay, the first half of their life, they are just studying the system. Okay, and the best way to study the system is not to stay up in the clouds and study the system, but to incarnate here, and to incarnate in a dysfunctional system and in an even dysfunctional family. Okay, and understand all the dynamics. All right, understand all the dynamics of what system is functioning behind the system. So there are two systems: the system that you can see that is playing out in the physical reality, okay, and the system that has been operating on the invisible level in the fourth dimension, okay, the astral plane, that basically controls the materialization process. I'm not talking about the fifth dimension. Those are the heavens, because the heavens start from the fifth dimension onwards, because that is unity consciousness. Okay, and below fifth dimension we have the karmic realms, the helm realms, and earth comes under the helm realm. Okay, because we have the third dimension here, which is changing. Of course, we are going to the fifth dimension now. That is why so many forces of light are here, so many twin flames are here, so many ascended masters are here. There are even ascended masters here who haven't descended in 3D. I mean to say, they are existing on 60, 70 levels, not even 5D. Okay, they are existing in higher dimensions right here on this planet Earth, but they have a different purpose. Okay, their purpose is not so raw, and it's not like a dirty job that we have. Okay, that we have to go into the system and really explore the dark. Okay, so we are basically the soldiers. Okay, so that is why we have this task. So talking about Kaalsarpa Dosha. So now what is Kaalsarpa Dosha? If you just put in the YouTube Kaalsarpa Dosha, you will get a lot of astrological videos talking about the positive aspects of Kaalsarpa Dosha, and all astrologers looking very smart, okay, or trying to look very smart and denying the Kaalsarpa Dosha. See, there is a section of astrologers that put fear inside people and who have made the money out of Kaalsarpa Dosha, fear, by putting the fear, okay. But just because this kind of group of astrologers exist who loot people for the money by putting fear inside them, that does not mean that it is not a real thing. Basically, Kaalsarpa Dosha means all the planets are between Rahu and Ketu, okay. Sometimes one planet is out, but most of the planets are under influence of Rahu and Ketu, which gives a person a certain compulsive behavior and a certain fixed destiny. So when you have a fixed destiny path, you cannot get out. It's like a program, okay, and you have chosen this syllabus. Like for Twin Flames, they have chosen this syllabus because only through going through this syllabus they are able to do the mission in the best way. So you might want a certain event or a certain Twin Flame stage to appear in your life this year or next year, but it won't happen. It will only happen during divine timing, and that is why I say divine timing is a very important part of the journey. Okay, and divine timing is not necessarily shown in the astrological chart, in the Kundli chart. Okay, in the Kundli chart, you can identify whether you are a twin flame or not, but you cannot identify the divine timing, because the divine timing is something that is kept secret even from you. Okay, even you don't know it, because you don't need to know it. You just need to walk the path. Okay, because if you know something too much in advance, then you are not going to play the role that you're supposed to play, and then you will not be influencing society the way you need to influence. So Kaalsarpa Dosha, my friends, is a certain fixed destiny being trapped in certain behavioral patterns. For example, the divine feminine has to do the spiritual work, okay, because she is the spiritual twin. So up till a certain time, she's fixed in a certain destiny, and I tried to break this destiny path, but again and again I was dragged back to the same task that I had to do. Okay, so this proves that you have come here with a particular soul contract, and you cannot break that soul contract. Okay, because by a certain time you have to achieve a certain level in your work. Okay, same way the divine masculine, he does want to do more and more research and study on spirituality. He wants to understand the enlightenment. He is also seeking the enlightenment, but he is forced, or rather his soul has chosen, that he should just focus on the grounding part. Okay, because when the souls merge, their attributes and skills become one. Okay, all my knowledge, all my skills will go inside him, all his skills will go inside me. Twin flames literally merge when it comes to the consciousness. Okay, right now I'm having certain skills that I never had before. Okay, and the soul merge hasn't even started as yet. I have just achieved a place where I am balanced. Okay, so right now I am at a place where my crown chakra has activated. That means my third eye has balanced. I have physically met my twin, because you know, to physically exist in the same space, your third eye has to be balanced. You have to be freed from the ancestral karma. Okay, so I'm at that point where I have freed myself from the ancestral karma. That third eye is balanced. Okay, and my crown chakra is activated. Okay, and right now I'm going through a process that is related to the Kaal Sarp Dosha. Okay, so this video I'm making about a Kaal Sarp Dosha, and right now I'm in a very interesting phase where I am observing the ending of the Kaal Sarp Dosha. Okay, I'm observing the ending of the Kaal Sarp Dosha, because when you are trapped in a certain destiny, it's not a trap really, it's what your soul has chosen. As long as you are in ego, you view the task that you are supposed to do as a burden. Okay, so I wanted to have a career, okay, and I couldn't, because I had to complete a certain level of spirituality, I had to reach the enlightenment. Okay, so I had to do a job that I saw as a burden. Okay, and I couldn't do what I wanted to do. I wanted to do my art career, I couldn't do it. Okay, but it was a decision of my soul that I should first achieve the enlightenment and then become the artist. Okay, so because twin flames, I keep saying it again and again in my videos, several videos, twin flames do not ground in the karmic matrix. Okay, they cannot have karmic exchanges, because in order to sustain the union, the 5D state, the unity consciousness, they cannot have karmic exchanges. So first they have to achieve the enlightenment, and then they have to participate in the world, and the world they participate in changes from a karmic matrix to a soul matrix or a Shiva matrix. You can call it what you like. Okay, because twin flames create the Panchabhuta balance. Okay, They balance all the tattvas: fire, water, air, earth, and ether. Okay, so they balance the pancha tattvas. Okay, so basically you're bringing heaven wherever you walk, right? And when you bring heaven, it's like a sanitization process where all the fragmented soul aspects leave human beings. Okay, and the soul comes inside and an integration process happens in the human beings. Okay, so twin flames are basically heavenly beings. Okay, so wherever they go, they will bring the heaven with them, right? But when you come into this dimension, you have to take on a lot of stuff. Okay, and then you have to go through the healing process. Basically half your life you have to go through this process, so that you become an expert teacher, so that you can teach and guide others how to come out of the system. Okay, so now we are talking about Kaalsarpa Dosha. Okay, so if you are a twin flame, and especially if you are a spiritual twin, okay, if you are a divine feminine, even when you are a divine masculine, I'm saying what is really going on, and don't get scared right now. Don't get scared. Okay, you are a soldier. Don't get scared. What is really going on is you see people around you, but they are not people. Okay, these people that are appearing around you, okay, they are highly soul fragmented entities, as good as vampires. Okay, so if you have Kaalsarpa Dosha, basically you have taken on polarity karma, which causes you to pull in like the gutter of the society. Okay, so basically you're pulling in the gutter timelines first. Okay, and then you have to go through your healing process. Once your healing process is done, your third eye chakra is balanced, then you do the soul merging and the Kaalsarpa Dosha heals. Okay, then you begin to attract the 5D. But before the Kaalsarpa Dosha is healed, as long as you have the Kaalsarpa Dosha, you are attracting the low class of society, which is the not the people who are poor in terms of money, the people who are poor in terms of soul embodiment, like they have a lot of soul fragmentation inside them. Okay, so that is what I refer to as low class. Okay, I mean, I'm not talking about the families, the casteism as is incoming families. You can say that I'm believing casteism. You can think what you like, but fact is a fact. The blood that flows in one person is not the same that flows in the other person. Okay, and Bollywood is basically made up of a lot of unawake, unconscious people that direct all these shitty movies and condition the masses and lower the level of consciousness. Okay, and people coming from high class families have always known this and have always had their filters on. Okay, but the masses are the ones that are easily deceived by all this shit that Bollywood keeps feeding us. Okay, so you have to be strong enough and you have to be classy enough to have the filters. Okay, which aspects to accept from Bollywood or from whatever sources of concept feeding are out there. Okay, you have to be very careful what you let into your mind, what you allow. There are a lot of cults there that want to program you. They want to program you to say that just because your blood is red and somebody else's blood is red, it is not green, you're both the same. How can you be the same? Your intelligence level is different from their intelligence level. Okay, your ability to make money is different, their ability to make money is different, your ability to make friends is different, their ability to make friends is different. Okay, the way you smell is different, the way they stink is different. Hierarchy is a fact. Hierarchy is a fact. Okay, the kind of genetic diseases you carry is different. from the kind of genetic diseases somebody else is carrying. Okay, so there are clear differences between people. Okay, and that is why people form their circles. People form their circles. Like people who are belonging to a business class, they have a business circle. People who are belonging to the artist class have a artist circle. Okay, so people are different. Hierarchies exist. Social hierarchies exist, and equality, to a large extent, is a socialist lie to gain the votes, right? So this is how our fucked up system is today, and this is how our shameless politicians are today. They have no self-respect. For your kind information, it's a foreign word. What self-respect? What is that? I just know how to lick S and get power, right? So that is how our politicians are. Most of the politicians I'm talking about. There are a few politicians that defy the norm. There are a few politicians that defy the norm. You cannot generalize. Even now, you cannot generalize, because even when darkness envelopes, there is a small dot, white dot of light. So, it cannot be completely dark. There has to be some light, and it cannot be completely light. There has to be some dark for the balance to exist, as the yin yang science shows. So there is a minority of politicians who are trying to maintain their sanity in this world and trying to be safe and yet be good, because being good or being real is equivalent to being in the risk category. Okay, because the moment you are real, you are attacked, whether you're a politician or whether you are a police or whether you are in the administrative services. If you are out there to create some change, you are targeted. Okay, unless you have a big group, okay, your gang basically, your support system, and that is one of the aspects that is very important. It's important to have your support network, and it only comes when your masculine is healed. Okay, so that was a clue that I gave you here in this video, and that is why this twin flame journey or this ascension journey is totally worth it, whether you are in a twin flame relationship or not. Totally worth it. This ascension journey is totally worth it because it tells you how to be in your power. Okay, so Kaal Sarp Dosha, my friends, Kaal Sarp Dosha basically means you are surrounded by polarized individuals, highly soul fragmented individuals, okay, that basically are draining your energy, that are basically, affecting you negatively, putting the traumas in your system, okay, so all these things. So let me just say it in a very convoluted way right now, not to scare you, but basically you are Shakti surrounded by the demons. And how I'm telling you this with confidence is, when I met my twin first time, we connected online and he sent me a video, okay, he sent me a video of Kali, and there were demons around her, and then Kali was killing all the demons, okay, and she ascended and she reunited with the Shiva, with her partner, okay, with her consort. So Kali first has to clear the Kaalsarpa Dosha, okay, kill all the demons around her, and then the Kaalsarpa Dosha heals as the soul merge happens. Okay, so now I'm going to come to the last part of this video. Okay, how the Kaalsarpa Dosha heals. Okay, I've already given it to you in this video if you listen carefully, but let me tell it to you again in a ordered way. Okay, so first you are born, you are incarnated into a polarity matrix or a demonic matrix, whatever you see. People around you are soul fragmented entities, and the thing is, even if there is a good person, the demonic attachments, okay, find their way through the consciousness of that good person and they get to you. You understand? So if there is Even if there is say just an innocent teenager, okay, an innocent teenager, and you come in contact with this innocent teenager, okay, suddenly you'll find that the teenager starts to behave in a very rash manner with you, okay, and you're wondering, well, I just met this person today, okay. So that is because since you are carrying the polarity karma, the negative entities, the polarized entities are able to send soul fragmented people to you. Either they send soul fragmented people to you, already they're soul fragmented, or they actually enter people that are good people, that are nice people, and they mess with their minds, they mess with their mental emotional body. See, if I talk to an occultist about this thing, that person will follow me in one minute. They don't have to listen to this entire video. In 30 seconds, they will already understand what I'm trying to say. Because this is their everyday work. Okay? They live in a different dimension. Okay? They don't live in a corporate job kind of a setting or a normal business kind of a setting. That is not their world. Okay? So those are the kinds of people, 30 seconds I talk to them and they get me. Alright? So basically these negative entities that are attached to you via your DNA, via the Kaalsarpa Dosha, via the polarity karma, because the soul had to separate, basically enter people and will create issues for you. Okay? And that is so that the mission doesn't happen. What is the mission? The mission is to enter the polarity matrix and achieve the singularity, right? So that you can create a Panchabhuta balance and you can sanitize this society. You can sanitize this fucked up society. Okay. I mean, people themselves are not in control of their own demons, and everybody knows that. Okay, everybody knows that, because when you have soul fragmentation, you basically have a behavior pattern that is out of control. And extreme examples of this out of control situation are mental disorders like sociopathy, psychopathy, narcissistic personality disorder, and schizophrenia. Okay, these are extreme cases, but most of the people already have at least 30-40% of these things already. It's just not extreme, it's just not extreme. But if you are born with Kaal Sarp Dosha, then you are basically surrounded with people, extreme people. Because Kaal Sarp Dosha is Rahu Ketu, and you know that Rahu Ketu are all about extremes. They do not understand the middle ground, okay, and they are extremes, especially Ketu. Okay, and at the same time, Ketu is the highest spirituality, and Ketu is the highest diabolism. Let me use this word. Okay, it's the highest spirituality and it's the highest diabolism at the same time. It just depends on whether your Ketu is positive or negative. Ketu has positive aspects, Ketu has negative aspects. Okay. Same thing with Rahu. Rahu has positive aspects, Rahu has negative aspects. Okay. Now I have Rahu moon, and one aspect of Rahu is greed, never satisfied. But what did I do with this aspect of Rahu, so-called negative aspect of Rahu? I invested this greed aspect that I have, the place that where I was out of control, into spirituality, and I would like study and do spirituality in such a greedy way, in such a voracious way. I fucked up Rahu. I fucked up Rahu because I didn't fucked up the deity called Rahu, but the concept that Rahu represents, I used it in an inverted way, okay, and basically achieved a significant level in my chosen direction. Okay, so yes, that was a place. I have a Rahu moon, so when it comes to cooking, I will cook without eating. I will not care whether I've taken a bath or sometimes no, I make sure I take a bath. But even if I'm hungry, even if I have other things to do, my schedule gets thrown away. Like I get a bit of out of control when it comes to cooking, and I also get out of control when it comes to art and art material and even cosmetics. Not so much cosmetics because that is more like Venus, okay, but art, okay. And I get out of control when it comes to spirituality. But you see, those demons that you have to put them to a positive use. So although you cannot kill those demons that you have, you can at least put them on a leash and make them work for you. And that's what I have done with my Rahu moon. I put a leash around the Rahu and I made it work for me, and it was such a good servant, okay, that I have balanced my third eye using the out of control demon. So I basically put a leash around the demon and made it work for me. Alright, so that is what a divine feminine is, and that is what a divine masculine is. Okay, a divine feminine, the spiritual twin, is supposed to achieve the heights of spirituality, is heights of spiritual understanding. Divine masculine is supposed to achieve the heights of power. That's what my divine masculine has done, and I'm so proud of him. I'm really proud of him. Okay, so let me get back to the point. So first you take on the Kaalsarpa Dosha. Okay, you explore the matrix, you understand the matrix. This is a completely soldier thing that you're doing. Okay, and once you have explored the matrix enough, okay, you start your awakening process. Okay, you start clearing the Kaalsarpa Dosha. Okay, the process of clearing the dosha starts, and you reach to a place of the third eye chakra balance. Okay, once you are balanced, your inner masculine, feminine, your third eye chakra is balanced, then the energy goes to the crown. Okay, this is where the animals and all this start to respond to you. You become very magnetic because now the energy is going to the crown, and crown is everything around you. The whole of existence, the whole of universe, that is the crown chakra. So energy is going up there, and that is where you're balanced. Basically, you have cleared your karma. Okay, and you have also cleared your karmic monad grid. Okay, and now you enter a stage which is about healing the Kaalsarpa Dosha. Okay, and this is what we also call the soul merge. Okay, so you can also say that the soul merge is the complete healing of the Kaalsarpa Dosha. There are two stages to healing the Kaalsarpa Dosha. One is balancing your inner masculine, feminine, stage 1. And the second stage of healing the Kaalsarpa Dosha is you merge with your twin soul. Okay, that is when his Shakti awakens, and that is when his soul merges inside you, and the Kaalsarpa Dosha as well. Because what is Kaalsarpa Dosha finally? It's a state of extreme polarity. It is a state of separation from your twin. Kaalsarpa Dosha means your masculine half is in a different body, and due to the karma that you have taken on, and due to the karma that your masculine has taken on, it creates the Kaalsarpa Dosha. It creates the separation. It creates the polarity. It makes him the masculine polarity, makes you the feminine polarity, it puts you in compulsive patterns, it puts you in a fixed destiny path, which is also chosen by your soul. Let us remember. Okay? So a lot of people say, don't judge, don't judge. No, I do both. I also have empathy for myself and others, and I also judge, because in certain situations it depends on the context. Okay, judgment is necessary to exercise a certain amount of control. We live in a society and we have a responsibility towards the society. Like, for example, these days you have seen what happens in the Delhi metro. Ladies are not even wearing bras. They're just wearing these small bikinis and going out in the metros. They're creating the reels, Instagram reels and things like that in the metros, disturbing other people that are traveling. I mean, youngsters are not the only the part of society that are traveling in the metros. There are mature people traveling, there are old people traveling, there are children traveling, and all these people are creating these reels. Okay, I mean, I took like 34 years to come to a level of certain understanding spiritually. Okay, you can say 33. And after I arrived at a certain level of confidence in the material that I had to share, then I came online. Okay, so these days people are showing off any small skill that they have just to get attention. Okay, so these people are not wearing clothes, and I mean wearing very small clothes. Okay, minimal clothes, minimal clothes. That is really very disturbing factor, because that is first of all showing that children are not being raised properly. Okay, now you will say that I am making a judgment, but this is a necessary judgment. Children have to be raised properly. If you create traumas in your children and they end up being like this, okay, then yes, that family has to be judged. Okay, and not only the family has to be judged, but as a society we have to do whatever we can without directly being invasive in their personal life. We should do whatever we can to create a support network or a container or a system where these kinds of children can actually heal. Okay, like the other day I was watching a video, it was by Urfi Javed. Okay, so there are a lot of Hindu fundamentalists. I don't like to use the word fundamentalist for them, because I see their perspective very well. I am a Hindu as well, so I wouldn't call them fundamentalists. I would call them protectors. So there are a lot of Hindu guardians out there who have commented on Urfi Javed's clothing style, let's say, because she wears very minimalistic clothes, revealing clothes. And I watched a video which where she talked about her childhood trauma, her childhood abuse, okay, and how her identity that she's having right now is sort of a revenge on her father and on her family, okay, for not being capable of bringing up kids in the healthy way, okay, because she was after all a feminine energy, okay, and a feminine energy has to be brought up in the right way, has to be given the right atmosphere, has to be given the right environment, okay. And she is a very beautiful girl, okay, but the only thing is she is, I would say, lost, trapped, okay, in this feeling of revenge against her father, okay. She thinks she has won, she thinks she's in a place of power, but I don't think she's in a place of power, okay, because that is what the unconscious agenda was, to make her this way. So yes, judgment is a very real thing. It's important to pinpoint socially damaging behaviors. It is very important to pinpoint that, and at the same time come from a place of compassion from these people, these souls who are lost. Okay. So, twin flames, my community of twin flames, especially if you are a divine feminine or even if you are a divine masculine, Kaalsarpa Dosha is a very real thing. Don't listen to those astrologers who deny it and say, it's just fear mongering. It's not fear mongering. You are trapped in a polarity matrix where you're pulling in very low level timelines. Okay, I'll give you an example of pulling in low level timelines. So there was a small beach where I used to stay before, and people would come, especially couples, and spend some time there. It was not a sea, it was a river that was connected to the sea. So I would go there because it was in the interior of a village and it was a peaceful place. So one evening I went there, and as soon as I went there, drunkard came there who was drunk. Okay, who was drunk. and he started disturbing people. He started saying things, bad words and things like that. I started disturbing people. He even started throwing stones and things like that because he was drunk. And then a few people came and they took him away. Okay, because he was creating a mess there. So he was taken away. The police was called and he was taken away. And but I noticed one thing. Okay, so when I went there, this person came in. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, if you are a twin flame, you are operating in an inverted matrix until the soul merge happens. So you're pulling in the lower timelines, which is a very bad thing, which is why you have to prioritize your spiritual process and your ascension process. If you have to work 5 hours, then at least 3 hours you have to work on the ascension process, because basically you're pulling in lower timelines, you're not contributing to society. And you can't help it, because to enter this matrix you had to split it, so it's not your fault. You can't be blamed for it. I can't be blamed for it, because that was the only damn way to enter the 3D level of Earth, the third dimension, and explore it. Okay? So if you're going really to the low levels of society, how do you have to be? You have to be at that same level. You can't be like a film star and exist at that level. You can't be like a VIP and exist at that level. Okay? So that is why initially you pull in the lower timelines, but once the Kaalsarpa Dosha completely heals, once the soul merge is completely complete, okay, then you're pulling in the 5D timelines, and then basically what you're doing is you are pulling in these people with the entity attachments, right? Or you are pulling in the entity attachments, okay, even towards the nice people. Later on, when the soul merge happens, that's why soul merge is the most important aspect of the journey, that you have achieved nothing until you have achieved the soul merge. Let's just say, even though it's a tough journey, I can say that. And your twin won't give you like any value at all. Your twin won't give you any value at all until you do what you came here to do. Then he sees you, then he loves you, then he recognizes you, then you are his princess, then you are his queen, then he will fall at your feet if you complete the soul merge. That's the divine masculine. That's what he wants. He wants his Shakti. He doesn't want a bitch. Okay? And by bitch, I don't mean to disrespect you. What I mean by the word bitch is like when you're losing energy to the matrix. Like it's a type of energy prostitution, right? Okay? When you're bound up in the karmic matrix, it's a type of energy prostitution. Okay, everybody goes through it. There's nothing to feel ashamed about it. Okay, and this is not such an uncommon word, by the way. And as you know, I like to talk in a way that creates impact. Okay, because I like being real with you rather than being very formal. Okay, I don't like to do that. What is real is real. Okay, and I judge myself also like the way I judge others. This is a different way of saying it. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Like you can judge, I judge my neighbor as I judge myself. Okay, and judging is important, I think, because it helps you to stay in control. So you have to complete the soul merge for your twin to stop seeing his karmic as a divine feminine. Really, your twin sees his karmic as his divine feminine until you achieve the soul merge. If you don't achieve the soul merge, he will never see you as his divine feminine. Why? Because for a divine masculine, whoever gives him the energy, that person is his goddess. Okay? So when you raise your energy into your crown and you start sending him energy internally and you raise his Shakti, okay, and you are basically freeing him from having to be codependent on karmics for energy. At that point, you are his goddess. He's able to see you as his divine feminine only at that point, after you achieve the job, basically. You have to achieve the job, you have to achieve the task. And this is the point where the Kaalsarpa Dosha heals, okay? And first you are functioning in the inverted matrix where you are attracting all the low class people to you, okay? And then after the Kaalsarpa Dosha heals, after the soul merge is complete, you pull in the higher timelines and basically you clean up the entire system, okay? So this is the function of twin flames, this is the function of star seeds, to bring heaven on earth, okay? So we are a type of social workers, okay, a very intense type of social workers. Some social workers, they will build a hospital, okay? Some social workers will care for the animals. Some social workers work on marriages, maintaining, helping people who are having difficulty in their marriages. Some social workers work on educating kids. Well, we work on fixing the soul fragmentation and removing demons from people. Okay, the demons that make people out of control. Someone might have a jealousy demon. Someone might have a greed demon. Okay, someone might have a lust demon, someone might have a pedophilia demon. We have all kinds of pollutants in society, okay? And if you go in therapy, I'm not saying don't go in therapy, you can go in therapy, but it takes a lot of time, okay? Like, I was speaking to a police officer a few months ago, and I was talking about the kind of work that I do. I do counseling and stuff like that. So he told me I don't have time because I'm working during the day. I also have night shift. I don't have time. So I want you to fix my addiction pattern. Can you do that? And I said, yes, I was born for it. I said, you give me some time, I will do that. Okay, because that is our job, We are very intense. Okay, we clean up your Pancha Mahabhutas. Your addictions are gone. You don't have to go in therapy. You can do your night duty and you can do your day duty also, okay? And then in a few days you'll be fixed. But what is important is that I should live in your neighborhood. That is what twin flames are. So it's about, you have an influence on the vicinity, okay? And wherever that you go, that's why twin flames move. I have been moving a lot. Okay, that's why twin flames are moving, okay? And even after they come into union, they do have work where they have to travel, okay? Because it is important that twin flames are placed in different areas, and especially darker areas, okay? Because that's where they work, that is their work area. Okay, so I hope this video gave you a substantial understanding of what twin flames are, okay, how they split in polarities, which creates the Kaalsarpa Dosha, which creates the Saturn moon dosha, and how first they are in an inverted matrix, basically empowering the matrix while also studying it and pulling in the lower level timelines, and later on, after they complete the soul merge, clear the Kaalsarpa Dosha and complete the soul merge, which process involves 2 stages. First, freeing yourself and balancing your inner masculine feminine, and then merging your twin soul inside you. After that, they start pulling in the 5D timelines wherever they go. Okay, so I had my Guruji, there is a certain spiritual teacher whom I really like. I see him as my Guru. Although I have not taken any particular diksha from any Guru. So he used to say that once you are enlightened, okay, and once you exist in 5D, even mosquitoes don't bite you. Even the mosquito that comes in your energy field, okay, their structure is changed. From a polarized masculine structure, energy training structure, they become a balanced masculine structure. And they don't have to drink your blood because the Shakti feeds them. the Shakti that flows from your energetic field only to balanced structures feeds them. Okay, so that is basically the meaning of twin flames, and that is basically the social mission that you have, but it's a very high level that you have to achieve. And I hope you understood what the Kaalsarpa Dosha is, okay, and what the opinions might be outside might not be true, okay. It is a reality. Kaalsarpa Dosha is very scary, very real, okay. It's a very risky astrological dosha that twin flames come in, and it is basically taken on to study the system, okay. So if you are interested in any sessions, you can contact me. Okay, I'm available for sessions, and please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, okay, and I will see you again next time.